Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Thursday, February 13th, 2020. It is 8:05 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. I believe tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Don't miss that one if it's important to you. With that said, look at Teddy Roosevelt there. He's on his bully platform. Well, Bitcoin is definitely on his bully platform also, or I should say actually bully pulpit. So Teddy Roosevelt liked to rant and get his point across on the bully pulpit, and he did, and he was one of our kind of badass presidents. So I think Bitcoin is definitely on its bully pulpit. I would say that the crypto revolution relays on its bully pulpit as well, just like Teddy was, but maybe even more badass as we go into 2020. Amongst global instability, especially with the coronavirus, the crypto market has really shown up for work. So 2020 is starting out on the bully pulpit for Bitcoin and the crypto market in general. So let's dive in. Tether into Bitcoin last 24 hours, 4.1 billion. That is massive. That is an amazing tether. We are definitely seeing more tether into Bitcoin recently than we have in many months. All right, 1.6 billion in volume. Massive for Bitcoin. Where is most of that happening? As always, on Binance at 870 million. And note Coinbase, 214 million in volume. And I think, and I'm researching this to see if I'm right, but I do think when you see the volume there on Coinbase, I think you are seeing a lot of new money into Bitcoin because most people just buy on Coinbase. So we have new money, we got Tether flowing into Bitcoin. So 1.6 billion, that's massive volume, and 870 million of that is on Binance, and a good chunks also on Coinbase, which I tend to think is new money coming in. With that said, let's look at sentiment on Binance, since that's where the big players are. 32% shorts, 67% longs. That is a crap ton of optimism for the Binance crew. Let's look at the China 50, the CN50. We all know, because during the coronavirus stuff, which is still going on, it saw a massive dump. This is a daily chart. We went under the 200 moving average for a while, and now today, well, yesterday we were above it. Today it looks like we're going to challenge it again. The MACD has definitely turned very, very positive. So it does look like amidst global uncertainty, the CN50, the China 50, which would kind of be like our S&P 50 if it wasn't 500, is recovering. So I tend to look at this to really see global sentiment, and also I look at this to see past the news. I believe this is representing the seriousness of the issue. Of course, it's very serious, but it is recovering. Things are going to be okay. I don't think there's as much need for fear mongering that we see out there when it comes to the coronavirus, because, well, the market knows the truth, and boom, the CN50 is recovering, and it's about to get above the 200 moving average, and I think it will continue its uptrend that it's been on for quite some time. Let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average here in America since the market is open. All right, powerfully positive MACD. Red candle so far this morning, but we are definitely on a rockin' uptrend. Let's look at the SPX, S&P 500. Red candle today so far, but the day is very, very young. Powerfully positive MACD, powerful uptrend. All is looking well. I think we've shaken off in the Dow Jones and the S&P that dip that we saw because of coronavirus uncertainty. Also, let's look at the Russell 2000, the little guys. And of course, it had a more violent reaction to the coronavirus instability, but as you can see, it is recovering powerfully also, and the MACD is positive. Looking at Bitcoin on the daily. Okay, this morning, obviously, we've had a bit of a shakeout. I think the exchanges were shaking off some longs, or just some big-ass whales sold a bunch, but regardless, maybe they're selling into Ethereum since that's kind of doing so well. But regardless, we have a beautiful daily uptrend. We're above the 200 moving average. The MACD is still positive, even though it took a tilt. The tangent is towards the negative this morning. Let's see how the day goes. Look at that amazing Darth Maul doji on the daily. Looks like we're shaking out some weak hands. I'm not really concerned about that yet. Looking at Josh Rager's recent tweet, he does make a good point. I like that he uses the VPVR, because I do think that previous support and resistance in the chart and the VPVR, where the buy-sell volume is, really shows you the magnetic attractions in the chart for Bitcoin. So he has his opinion here. I'll just read it in case you're listening. Bitcoin 10,761 remains the resistance on the monthly chart, but if we zoom inside the monthly, we'll see horizontal resistance at 11,000, and BTC could get as high as 11,400 to 11,550 before topping out, in my humble opinion, or just in my opinion, because he's not humble. I'll stay in spot positions until then and likely head short. Well, regardless of his, him shorting or not, or longing, the real point of what I wanted to look at here is just that, as you can see, this is a weekly chart. He zoomed out a good deal, and you can see the VPVR, hot spots here where we had a lot of buy-sell volume. And he does make a great point looking at previous support and resistance on the weekly, that we have, and in coordination with the VPVR, we can see really magnetic attractions to areas like 9,300, 10,130, 10,400, and 11,550. And he makes a good point. I mean, these are support and resistance areas that definitely Bitcoin will be drawn to. So I'm going to zoom into a smaller time frame chart and look at previous support resistance in the chart and look at VPVR volume. This is a 45-minute chart, and I'm going back to basically the 4th of February when I can see the pump really got started. This is when we crossed the 200 moving average back on the 5th of February. So here we are. Short time frame, yes, but still it does help us see support and resistance that Bitcoin is working with, and also VPVR volume where Bitcoin is definitely drawn to. So we can see right around 9,800 here. Definitely have previous support and resistance in the chart. VPVR volume was just rocking. We had lots of buy-sell there. Also, let's look right here at around 10,100. Support and resistance in the chart previously, and massive VPVR volume. We look up here at 10,300, 10,400. Let's just say 10,350. We definitely have worked around that support and resistance. We definitely have a spike in VPVR volume there. So if we note, here we were hanging at around 10,300, 10,400, and we challenged, 10,500, got rejected, boom, big old red candle, and where did we stop? Well, previous support and resistance caught us at around 10,100. So here we are. Right now, Bitcoin is at 10,241. We bounced off that, so we came down to previous support and resistance, previous buy-sell volume, right there at around, looking at 10,100, and it caught us. We wicked right down to about 10,090. So as you can see, previous support resistance and buy-sell volume definitely works with the charts as far as looking at what Bitcoin, places where it will come to have resistance or support, where it would like to hang out. And we can see where right here with this big dump that the directional index did go negative for a while. ADX was trending down, but of course we're now back with a positive directional index. The SAR indicator is green also, and the RSI is in a good place to continue growing. Well, if you look at this here, look at the daily, look at that Darth Maul wick right there, and also look at the at this. You've got a dump of about 3%, and then if you just turn that around, we came up, obviously we wicked all the way to almost 4%. This just looks like a shakeout to me. I'm not going to consider this to mean anything. I think we will continue on a powerful upwards trend from this point. I think you could even sort of see a channel here that we're making that I bet you Bitcoin will follow. So with that said, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, or I should say bully Bitcoin. I'm a member of Blockchain Education, have been for over 2 years. It has helped me learn to make money, whether Bitcoin's in a good mood or Bitcoin's in a bad mood. Bull market, bear market, alt season, not alt season. There's always money to be made. I'm going to give you a quick little view here. These are older calls. I can't give you the latest ones. These are all a good number of days old. And if you look, we're making money. You can get auto-entered into these in the hybrid system, or you can enter manually. And of course, when you sell, if you do get auto-entered, you can select what percent you want to sell at. So we're making money. Don't want to show you too much of that. That's just for us. But those are older calls. I'd love to see you join. Be a member of the team. Let's make money together in 2020. There's a 24-hour chat room there. I'm Cowboy Craig. Love to see you there. With that said, there's an affiliate link. Yes, it's an affiliate link in the description. Click on that. You can see a commercial about Bitcoin education that tells you a lot more about how it all works and such like that. And hey, join the team. Let's make money in 2020. I'd love to see you there. With that said, obstacles can't stop you, weather can't stop you, heartbreak can't stop you, failure cannot stop you. If it could, I'd have already given up. Only you can stop you. It's a decision that you make, so keep at it. We're doing important stuff here in the world, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being a part of the peaceful revolution, and I'll see you tomorrow.